Well, another story here from the farm. The year after the bank barn had burnt down, we had a huge manure pile. Farmers in those days, they always had a manure pile, right? You'd spread it on the fields after it was well composted. That's why there was always a huge pile. You were adding to it and taking from it. Again, nitrogen, the UN didn't have a sustainable farming agenda, WEFBS, going on then, right? That was back in when there wasn't a new normal, when things were just normal. Anyways, I digress. I was astounded when Dad said he was selling manure for $7 a load. I was like, $7? What? See, and you can sell it? And $7? Seemed like quite a chunk of change to me at the time, $7. I would imagine a working man's wage might have been like $2-3 an hour at the time. Now, that wouldn't be a pickup truckload. It would be a 5-ton truckload or something. But anyways, I was astounded. My mistake, $5 a load. It was selling for $5. Here's where the 7 comes in. I'm playing out in the yard. I'm 6 or 7, I suppose. Not quite tied to mother's apron strings, but can't quite. Got to stay in the house yard, Can't be out roaming in the fields just yet. The fellow pulled in and said he'd take all of the manure at $7. Whoa, okay. So it kind of slipped my mind until after dinner. Dad was down at the loafing barn with his cronies. They're having beer. Remember the Stubbies? And, oh yeah, I came down. I said, hey man, this guy came. I'll say Farmer Henderson. I have no idea what his name is. I'll say Henderson. Said he'd take it all for $7 a load. There's kind of a pregnant pause, and I'm like, what? And it was Earl Jordan, one of my dad's buddies. He speaks up. He goes, no, your dad won't be doing business with Farmer Henderson. I'm like, well, why not? It's $7 a load. That's like from 5, that's, percentage-wise, it's more money. No, Dad, no. I'm like, well, I don't get it. What, are you contracted to the other guys? They're just coming and getting whatever they want. You committed to that? Why can't you sell it for $7? Is something wrong with you? I can figure it out. Again, Earl speaks up. He goes, look, why do you think he came during the day and didn't talk to your dad at night? His dad worked during the day. I was like, I don't know. Well, he's looking at my dad. My dad's like, go ahead, Earl. Earl's like, look, he'd come during the day when your dad's not home. He'd take 10 piles of manure. Say he took 5. Tell your dad he took 5, because he's like that. He's dishonest. He's a crook. The whole concept had not occurred to me. I was like, he'd lie and he'd steal. Earl's like, well, that's the point. Yeah, that's why your dad and none of us do business with Farmer Henderson, because that's the way he is, boy. What part of this don't you understand? I was like, the lying and the thieving part? People do that? Dad's like, yeah, listen to what Earl's telling you, boy. I'm like, well, I'd be here to count the loads, so you'd get your money. Earl looks at Dad. Dad's like, carry on, Earl. How old are you, Scott? That's my real name, Scott. I don't know, 6 or 7, whatever I was. He's going, well, he's a grown man. He's going to tell your dad that he took 5 loads when he took 10. And it's going to be your word against him. How do you think that's going to work? You just being a kid and all. I'm like, Dad's going to know he's lying. Well, yeah, but he can't prove he's lying. This is why we don't do crooked. This is Dad now. He's like, what part of this don't you understand? Boy, we don't do business with crooks. You don't do business with crooks. You're known by the company you keep. You just don't do business with crooks. You won't get burnt. Can you figure that part out, boy? I'm like, yeah, still kind of hung up on that $2, but yeah, okay. So I guess I learned a lesson that day.